So what you're dealing with right now is, I got my license in 1989, 30.
Right. If you can't figure out the math, that's a whole other.
Yeah, that's a whole fun one. So, I've seen a recession. I've lived a recession from 1990, 1994, 95. It was like depression in Canada for this. So, most people have not seen anything but a blip to us in 2008-9. The U.S. held what we held up. We had 3-4 months, and then take off again. Properties that were for sale for $1 million in 2000 are now going for 2.4, 2.5, giving an idea of just appreciation of value. So a lot of people have not experienced a struggle in any shape or form, but typically people waiting. The people who work at it could do better in this market than the other market where it comes to.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I get it. So that to me is a big focus. Like, what are you going to do about it? Like, how long are you in this for? Are you a real estate agent today? Are you going to be a cryptocurrency or cannabis or social media expert in 3 years? And if that's the case, it's fine. You're more than welcome to chase whatever you think is the thing or the hot thing or the next thing. But if you're in it, you better start building foundation.
Absolutely.
And I think, word of mouth and reputation is imperative. How you build it, and how do you build it? There's so many different segments in there, right?
But not everybody succeeded this way. Not everybody, has done exceptionally well.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to take away from the facts that, sure, there's more positivity, there's more people making, being back in sales, but there's a big chunk who haven't.
Look, I'll be very honest with you. Like, if I walked out there and the market was up 200% and every clown, and that's what happens real estate's a very interesting thing for me to watch over the last 30 years, and 20. I'm fully on the record on this. Below average entrepreneurial operators can do well when the market's disproportionately great. It's no different than anything else.
A monkey can sell real estate.
I really believe that because I know so many people that are not great, who've had great runs. They're also the first people that get destroyed when shit goes bad.
Right.
And that's when Tim is saying the past few months, not the past 6 months before that, people have had to figure out how to sell real estate again. You can be a monkey.
Right,
you
correct.
had to figure out how to do it.
The phone wasn't ringing.
Yeah.
And, I'm a broker owner, so I have 240 agents in my company, and I own the bricks and mortar. So it's completely related to what's going on.
And look, back to being a broker owner, what I said with my opening sentence, I actually think one of the most interesting things over the next 3-4 decades is the broker model.
Yes.
They're going to have to figure out how to provide value in a different way.
Yeah.
I'm on that. 100%.
And I think that's a great thing.
Yes.
Like I don't see that as for everybody who's going to hear that from me on stage, I don't see that as oh fuck, cool. So there was, because of the way technology was and the way the world worked, if you built a great brand and everybody wanted to work for you because that brand helped sell more homes, because every human was affected by that.
Yes.
Whether it was Remax or Whitebird or Sotheby's or whatever, the brand carried weight.
Mm-hmm.
But, that is going to continue to decline unless those brands understand how to disproportionate brand in the next decade. And more importantly, rethink the relationship on the commission structures with people, because the human can build that brand. A human didn't have $11 million budgets or even $100,000 budget. This stuff is quite inexpensive if you're good at it.
Okay.
And there's a big tone. I know we talked about it even in the conference. There's still talk openly about the disruptors now coming in. So there's
You mean the technology platforms?
Technologies and changes.
Oh, there's stuff.
I'm glad to see that at least there's conversation around it, and we're learning more about it. But
who's been the most aggressive in doing? Is Zillow here?
Zillow's here.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Oh,
Is it Red Arrow?
Redfin is here.
Uh-huh.
What's it called? Red Apple?
Arrow.
Oh,
I was trying to remember what it was.
No, Redfin, Zillow. There's a lot of other ones that are talking about coming to the U.S., which is completely normal and embrace. EXP is starting to make inroads here. They have several booths outside too. So they're all different brokerage models, or all different technology platform models that are. REW from Vancouver.
Right.
They're here. They're a huge online website provider for the realtor on the street. So there's a lot of things are coming up very fast, which is
And sometimes
I agree. I
technology
think it's
itself,
great.
not even the company, whether it's blockchain or AI, all of that's disrupting and changing. So it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, and some good changes possible.
Yeah, I mean, I literally, my sister got into real estate last year, and I was like, look, you need to build a brand, because I'm like, watch this, and we were in the apartment, I was like, Alexa, tell me where the open houses are today.
I know, isn't that fantastic?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that becomes the new tool booth.
yes.
Yeah.
And Alexa can send that anywhere they want.
Yeah.
And so I think that's right. So I think ultimately what I'm going to speak about is doing the right thing is always the right thing.
That's right.
So no different than you want to be healthy, you have to eat right and exercise. You want to build a meaningful business, whether you're a brokerage owner or an independent real estate agent, you need to take the world that I spend a lot of my time on extremely serious, because it is not going to decline in making people's decisions on who they're going to buy homes from.
Yes.
The internet is going to increase its leverage in that.
And assistant.
It is the toll booth. The end.
I like that.
I know, I was just gonna say, that's a great image, the toll booth.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
And then I think, I always say, and then all of our collective ambitions are to be the best toll booth collector, right? The internet is the platform. Then you have people, whether it's Zillow, or Open Table in restaurants, or eBay, or whatever it is. You have people come along who built businesses, Home Advisor, they built businesses above it. They were the first result. They bought the ads, so they became the next layer. I mean, you guys have all been in the business long enough. Well, you have, I'm making assumptions. Like
20 years, yes.
Great. So I remember when Zillow first came out, and like people shit on it. They laugh. They're not laughing as much anymore.
No.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying. I have reservations for tomorrow at a restaurant, not done communicated at least 3 or 4 times. There's no way it was a person. There's definitely a platform telling me, are you still on? Are you coming early? Are you coming late?
Yeah.
Are you still with two? And okay, this is really cool, creepy, cool.
Yeah.
And for the business,
Creepy, cool.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and for the business,
Obnoxious.
and
You
for
know?
the business, it's imperative because
Yeah.
actually, I was in that business up until recently. We just sold our company to American Express, actually, which was exciting. I had a company called Resi,
okay.
RESY, and we built a very big business. And all that machine learning and AI, like when you start understanding restaurants business, like we as customers don't give a fuck about the restaurant.
Yeah.
A restaurant is running its staff, its food, its inventory, and when we don't show up, it matters.
It does not.
Yeah.
Like it matters.
Yeah. It's really
Especially,
cool.
by the way, especially during things like this, right? Especially when game one in a town that's been waiting for a championship.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight, all sorts of wacky shit's gonna happen.
Now, how do you keep up on social?
I do it
I know that, but how do you do it?
because it's important.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like asking something. You know what you just asked me? How do you brush your teeth?
Yeah.
How do you shower?
Yeah.
Like to me, being a contemporary communicator has always been and forever will be the singular power. Muhammad Ali's greatness was not in the ring. Muhammad Ali's greatness was outside the ring in understanding how to manipulate the media of the time. Muhammad Ali understanding that he needed to be best friends with Howard Cosell is far more brilliant than anything he ever did in Zaire in the ring against George Foreman.
Yeah.
It's why he was such a great boxer. The same way that Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope George Foreman in Africa, he rope-a-dope society when he was doing something extremely not popular
Yeah.
and became a legend.
Love it.
If you look back at anybody we know, Gandhi, Ali, Martin Luther King, if you really look carefully at people that we speak about, they understood media. They did something else. An activist, an athlete, a songwriter and performer, but what they really did was understand media.
Yeah.
And that's what I understand. And so, to me, I would give up anything else for it professionally.
Yeah.
And that's what's so interesting. I think
Yeah.
people hear, that's why I kind of started with the word social media.
Yeah.
People hear social media and they think in business terms and in life, but like just keep it narrow. They think of it as a sprinkle on a cupcake. I think it's the fucking batter.
Yeah.
And that's the punchline. So how do I keep up with it? It's a prerequisite for my ambitions.
It's everything.
It's everything.
It's everything.
It's everything. And I think, when I first started talking about it in 2009, 10, 11, I was met with a lot of cynicism, but I think as we look at world politics, as we look at children's behavior, as we look at all the things that have happened over the last, half decade for sure, I think people are starting to say, wait a minute.
Mhm.
And I don't think people actually understand that we haven't even started.
Oh, I got 3 daughters, 17, 15, and 8.
Yep.
I think they were born with it at the top of their
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, they've started. I mean, I see the highs and the lows.
100%.
I see the personality management requirement as well,
100%.
and to navigate them through reality, not real, good, bad, paths to use it in a powerful way, and how it can destruct as well. If you're not careful.
I think a lot of parents look at it as a negative. I think it's exposing things that have always gone on with children. So for me, I think it's a real positive because parents are now getting actual insight. This was always going on. It's always been hard to be a kid.
Oh yeah, that's no question.
It was always hard.
Yeah.
Peer pressure was always real. Like people are like, now it comes home with them. When you got picked out of school in 1987, it came home with you.
Yeah.
You were thinking about that shit too.
Yeah.
Like, like there's everything is fine with balance, but like it's what's very powerful about technology is it's a mirror and it exposes. So people are like, social media is terrible. Right now that's a very fun thing to talk about. I'm like, there is no social media. I'm like, we're terrible. Facebook doesn't write anything. Humans write shit.
They're just more phones capturing everything that's happening. It's
We're
always
just
happening
being
in the past.
exposed. We haven't changed.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
There is no social
That
media.
exposed comment is so profound too, because I gave the example before, if I don't mind sharing it with you,
Please.
where I used to walk home from school, hockey, not basketball, Canada, and
I've heard
hey Gary, play hockey after doing a homework? Sure. If I step outside, if I see you, you see me, I'll have the net out for hockey, right? You don't show up. Next day I see you at school, I know nothing.
nothing.
Today,
You know.
you don't show
you
up.
judge.
I don't know, but you're at the mall with a buddy saying my bestie and I can get
Yeah.
a picture. Now I feel like a loser.
But this is
But that always happened, is what you said, which is
always
amazing.
happened.
Yes.
And here's
Yeah.
the punchline. Parents then blame that other kid, they blame Instagram. What parents need to focus on is, are they actually building proper self-esteem without entitlement in their children? That happened to me all the time. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I was like, cool, Robbie, you wanted to hang out with Eric. I get it. Like, next time just tell me, I'm good.
yeah,
What this is all gonna do is we're gonna spend the next decade or two, a generation of parents blaming the platforms. Then we're gonna get to a more meaningful conversation and say, what are you doing about getting your kid into a place where when Sarah disses her and goes to the mall with Molly and she feels hurt,
Yeah.
for her to be able to shrug that off as a non-event versus some catastrophic event that is an indicator on her well-being and livelihood.
very true.
When that happens, people will look back at this era as the one step backwards for 2 steps forward. Right now what we're doing is we're a whole generation of parents that don't want to be held accountable for the fact that we've created so much entitlement that we have a bunch of kids that are so soft they don't know how to deal with reality.
I can't show this to my daughters. It's all my fault. I already know that. I have 3 daughters, hormonal. It's always my fault anyway, so.
But this
You're
is,
outnumbered.
But look, this is a super important conversation. And it's gonna be a healthy one. But everything good has pain up front.
Mhm.
And so we're going through that right now. We want to blame Mark Zuckerberg. We want to blame Donald Trump. We want to blame the internet. This is us.
Yes.
This is who we are.
There's no more participation ribbons anymore, or there shouldn't be.
But there is at scale.
Right.
But because of this, over the last 3-4 years, we're starting to have a good conversation about maybe there shouldn't. Unfortunately, what's actually happening right now is we're going to the extremes.
Right.
Right now, what's happening is we're going to even more extreme. On the left, we're going far more extreme than participation trophies. You're getting a trophy for the second you signed up for the game. on the extreme right, we're pushing hate.
Yeah.
Let's make it very simple. Hate.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm an optimist. I think humans have gone through much worse.
Yeah. So
You
I'm
know,
not-
we have to put it in perspective. We've gone through the Black Plague. We've gone through Holocaust. We've gone through world wars. Like, this is shitty, but this is an inconvenience of actually becoming accountable for who we actually are, which will then to start form a different conversation. And I think that's healthy. I think a lot of the things that a lot of us don't love about the world were predicated on a traditional media platform.
And lack of information.
Which did a lot of good.
Yeah.
Which did a lot of good. Traditional media did a lot of good. It didn't create extremism, you know. But we are now in an internet world. And so I remind people, I'm like, you know what's going on in the world. I love when people, I may bring it up here today, I'm like, you don't think social media impacts your real estate business, yet every night you talk about how social media has changed the world, the political landscape, your children's life. You don't think this changes how people buy homes?
Of course.
That's minor leagues compared to what it does. This is communication. This is the printing press. This is satellites in the air doing TV. This is the invention of the radio. This is that big.
One thing though we are seeing in our industry over and over again, I'm noticing more of the social noise and the same posting, and no one's really connecting or telling a story or something.
Because most people don't bring value.
Yes, and that's something I think our market needs to know today. You know, realtors is it's the same old thing. It does.
It's extremely common, but that's why you have a very small percentage of people that tend to win, because very few people actually have a long-term value providing framework. Long-term value providing. Like I said, I'm dying to know how many people bail when the market collapses.
Yeah.